Okay, Kevin, we are back. Ed just sent me some pictures. Somebody got their first buck last night, dude,
Oh,
on the
nice.
farm, bro. Like
Very nice.
when you count the points, you count them on both sides, right? That was like an 8 point then, 4 on each side, or is that a
Yep.
4 point? How do you do
Yep.
that?
4 on each side. It's both. It's both sides.
So it's considered an 8 point or a 4 point?
8. Yeah.
Eight.
If it's 4 on each side, it's 8.
Yeah, there's a nice deer. He said it was full velvet. I don't even know what that means, but
Oh, that's awesome. That's when they're still sort of growing their antlers.
oh, anyway, uh, pretty cool. We got that drone, but he said there's too much foliage on the trees to bring the drone up and use it because it still masks like heat
Okay.
signatures and stuff. Anyway, Kevin's not sitting next to me because we're both sick, and I'm gonna blame Kevin. Kevin got me sick on the last show.
Well, I don't know who got me sick. But
Oh, you're the young guy. You young kids get the old guys sick, bro. That's how it works, man. I'm not even sick. It's my throat. It just I'm gonna have a coughing attack at some point. So I got these. My wife's Colombian, and there's a word in Spanish for witch called bruja. So
Yeah.
I got the bruja medicine, I call it, like essential oils and stuff. I rub this all over my neck. Though I won't tell her this, but the stuff actually works. But if I tell her that, then it gets messy. So the bruja stuff works. I just can't. I can't tell her. So
Yeah.
this is how stupid I grew up I'm half Italian, I'm half Sicilian, right?
Uh-huh.
And I this is so funny. Anytime you would anytime something would happen, you get a bump, you get a bruise, my mom would put butter on it. Butter.
Butter?
Butter, dude. And I think you know, as an adult now, I think it was because the butter was just cold, and it was best way to put something cold on it where you didn't have to hold it, right?
Okay.
But still, like these old school rest like butter. So I always joke to my mom, like, "Mom, I just lost my arm. Go get the butter." You know?
That's funny. I've never heard butter.
No, dude, some weird Italian thing. The
I
other
remember
weird
vapor
thing,
rub.
the other weird thing, when you had a stomach ache, she would put rubbing alcohol on your stomach. Now, I don't think that did anything other than mentally in your brain, you just thought it was going to work, and it worked.
Huh.
Because I remember going to a school nurse in like fourth, fifth grade, and I asked them for the rubbing alcohol, and they looked at me like I had two heads.
I
but
remember for me it was Vicks, the vapor rub. It was
but
always
the Vicks
anything
is
wrong.
that's what this is, right? She's created her own sort of
Yeah.
Vicks for this, right? And that's fair, right? I mean, it's all essential oils and stuff. But to this day, if I want to like bust my mom's chops, I'm just like, "Ma, I lost my eye. I need some butter."
Give me the butter.
You know, you should
That's funny.
ask your parents. Your parents are probably my age, right? Or maybe they're younger than me. You should ask your parents this week, what was the dumb shit your mom would put on you or do when you got hurt? I bet you they got
Yeah.
something.
Oh,
In fact,
definitely.
she put castor oil in here, and that started to make me laugh because I don't know if anybody here's ever watched. Back in the 30s, it was the 30s or the 40s, there was a children's show called The Little Rascals. Now,
Hmm.
you may have seen the bigger movies, but back in the day, the Little Rascals. And anytime somebody was sick, they take out the castor oil and they make them drink it, like a
Ugh.
spoonful of the castor oil. And she brought
Ugh.
out the bottle. I said, I ain't drinking that shit. She started laughing. But I think she would have to, like when she was a kid, her mom in Columbia made her drink that stuff too. I don't know, dude.
Huh.
I got to move my mic a little
Interesting.
bit. Anyway, all right. Sounds like everybody can hear me. Yeah, wasted 5 minutes on brouhaha. I had the extra ha because I'm a gringo. Brouhaha. You don't speak Spanish though, do you, Kevin?
I do. I
Oh,
do.
you do?
Yeah.
You know, Sophie went to Indiana, Notre Dame, right? She's
Uh-huh.
taking a Spanish class there that's only for people whose parents migrated sort of to the US.
Okay.
So that way they have that stronger background in conversational Spanish. And they're teaching
Oh.
her even at a country level, like conversational sort of Spanish, but like street Spanish more than sort of anything else. And she's really
Oh,
enjoying
okay.
the class. But every once in a while, she'll call Allie and say, "You know this word?" And Allie will laugh. And then she'll be like, "Yeah, that was the perfect word if you're Colombian and you're in the street and you want to." But she's
Yeah.
enjoying it, right? But I'm like, man, she had to go all the way to Indiana to like increase her Spanish.
That's funny, of all places.
I know,
Indiana.
right? Shit. Anyway, I didn't know. I never heard you speak Spanish before, so I guess I didn't realize you. You feel like you're fluent or just enough to get by?
Just enough to get by. Like I understand it pretty well. Um, but then like talking back, I can get my point across. But my
Are you
grammar isn't the best.
are you embarrassed to talk because you feel like you should know it better? Because that's where Danny's at right now at 13. But she's starting to get fight through that, so her speaking is getting better. But normally you're like self-conscious. I don't want to speak because I'm going to sound like an idiot.
No, I'm not. I mean, I was a little bit a few years ago, but my girlfriend's parents only speak Spanish, basically. So
You've
through
had
the
no
years,
choice.
I've basically learned, and then I've always had grandparents who only spoke Spanish and stuff like that. So I've always been able to understand and then speak when I speak to them.
I had great grandparents that only spoke Italian, which was a bummer. So I knew all the words that I needed to know, like when they told me to come over to them or wait. Like these were two big words I was being yelled at all the time by my great grandmother, you know. But they didn't teach me Italian, dude.
Italian's a cool language. I would love to learn Italian.
I mean, it's a Spanish. It's just it has a different sort of accent and flow, but
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna learn it.
Yeah.
All right, enough nonsense here. Let's go. Okay, a couple things. I did what I said I was gonna do because I want to focus today on the chat app.
Okay.
But hold on a second. I thought I fixed all this. Let me bring this back up. All right. But what I want to do is just quickly review some of the changes. So I cleaned up the project quite a bit. It was killing me that the Mongo couldn't restart properly every time I
Okay.
shut it down. So I think it had to do with the way I was mounting the local disk to what was going on in the container. So essentially, I did a couple things here. I got rid of all the volume mounts for everything. Screw it.
Okay.
You don't need it. That stopped Mongo from starting up in a failed state again, which it was doing all the time. I just couldn't understand it. So I got rid of all of that. And then I added dockling to the project. So our next example, we're not talking about it today, but example 13 will be how do you process PDF documents and do things like that. So
Okay.
we're adding dockling. Dockling is a Python-based fast API server. There's just no Go support for dockling. So we're going to run the dockling itself in a container
Okay.
and just call it as a separate service when we start doing that stuff. And I've added a compose for everything, a compose for just dockling, and a compose for the open web UI when we want that sort of only.
Got
Some
it.
makefile changes. Oh, so FFmpeg came out with their version 8, like we talked about,
Yep.
but they've got bugs. We Florin's gonna try to figure it out, but there's issues actually on an issue tracker already. You have to build that in a special way to get Whisper support, so we can do
Mm.
translations or transcriptions, and that's broken right now. So even though I must have lost 3 hours on it yesterday, so we still
Oh
can't
wow.
use FFmpeg for transcriptions just yet. So we'll have to keep our audio package, but Florin is determined, even though there's bugs in the build,
Got
to
it.
make
Okay.
that work. But added Quay to the project there. Also, and we're going to go over this, found a new model that can do the vision stuff a tiny bit faster, and it's still accurate. This is the Gemma 3 4B IT quad. So instead of using the Quen 25VL, which took more than like 8-10 seconds, this is
Yeah.
happening in about 5 seconds now.
Oh wow.
And I'll show you, we were doing 2 calls actually. It was so dumb. We were doing a call to get the description and the classification, and then if it was source code, we were doing it again.
Oh.
So I changed the prompt. I'll show you. So it just does all of it in one shot. So that's helped speed some things up. Let's see what else here. Oh, we now have clean and non-clean versions of Compose. If you do the clean, basically it will call -v when you start it, and that should remove any volume data. So anything that was stored on the last sort of start should clean it up. So instead of me doing the remove and all of that, playing with these ideas here. So I think that's everything there. So if I come back to the terminal now, I'm going to have my Olama up here. I'm going to have my embedding up here. And I'm going to have my compose up sort of here. And that will just bring everything up at this point, right? So that's fine. Double check I got Docker running. I do. All right. But I do a down first anyway, just to make sure it's all clean before we sort of come back up. Okay. So that's running there. You can see I was playing hard to get FFmpeg to build with to build with the Whisper
Okay.
support, but I couldn't get it to work, bro.
So that's basically waiting for them to sort of fix
There's a
the issues
bug
that
there.
you're having now.
Florin, let me see something if I can bring it up. Florin sent me this link, and basically you have to build support to enable Whisper, so it has this with flag. But this is
Oh,
the error
okay.
that we kept getting, and I spent an hour
Mm-hmm.
double checking that my package config environment was set correctly, and it was. I learned too much again that I shouldn't have had to learn again. I've been through this sort of pain before. So we have our configuration right, but the build is still doing this. So I'm glad somebody else reported it. Anyway, they have to fix this. So,
Got
oh,
it.
that was
Okay.
Sniper. Oh wait, that was Florin. Ah, okay. Florin's not the one who issued the thing, but Florin, this is Florin here.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. It doesn't matter. We're still okay. I was reading something. That's why I had that up. It's still okay. So, brain is frazzled. I'm on medicine here. So anyway, we're gonna run this thing here, but let's go back through this one last time here. So I've cleaned up a lot of that stuff in there, and now under example 12, step 1, I've got this working pretty cleanly now too.
Okay.
It's really all the same code, but I got rid of we're down to just one prompt that does the text classification and gives us the source code. I couldn't
Okay.
put the source code inside the JSON document because we'd get characters that weren't JSON compliant.
Yeah.
So I kind of built the prompt this way to say there are 2 sections. There's the JSON document that gives us text and classification, and then to put all the source code underneath this in raw text. And
Okay.
then I asked AMP to write me some code that could parse that for me. God, I love the AI agent, man. You got to see the code it wrote. Like, I didn't even care. I looked at it and I said, if it works, I'm okay with it, man. But you can see here now, I've asked it to sort of return this. So here's the function that AMP wrote to kind of like parse out the JSON document part and the source code part.
Okay.
And and we still do some trimming of ... But dude, like, this is where the agent just shines, man. Just there. Asked
No,
it to do that.
that's great.
Okay, actually, I did some other cool things too here. Let's just review it again real quick. So remember, we get in this loop for each chunk. Now, I realized that a 15-second chunk was too small. Plus, that's a lot of extra processing. So
Okay.
I went to a 60-second chunk.
Oh, all
And we
right.
need to test this a little bit more, but at a 60-second chunk, right, a minute per chunk,
Mm-hmm.
then in this case, we'll have about 40 something chunks to process, which is reasonable. But I realized that, at least for this class, things don't change very often within the scope of a minute,
Yeah.
you
Okay.
know?
Because there's explanation and like
And you're
there's
sitting there
more.
for a minute, and you know me, I love to talk. So I feel like for this video, the 60-second chunk is pretty valid. Even
Yeah.
as I process this, you'll see the keyframes. There aren't a lot of keyframes either after we sort of clean them up. So that's kind of interesting, right? And even that, maybe it can go to 120 depending on what we're doing. But I switched it to 60. So that was cool. So after we split the video into these 60-second chunks, we process each chunk. We saw this last time, right? And now I ask if the document already exists in Mongo. If it is, we don't have
Okay.
to do it again, right? That way, maybe we can get all these chunks processed. I was hoping to do this with FFmpeg, but I already showed you the bugs. We
Yep.
get the key, we process the key. Now, then we create basically what the input is going to be for embedding and inserting. And then I just print this out. So the output is now going to be super clean. We'll just get this information. And we weren't doing the starting video time stuff correct either. So we could have a proper link.
Oh, okay.
The only other thing I did to try to speed things up is we went with the smaller model, which was still accurate. And then when we get to the keyframe stuff, where is it? When we do the descriptions, I did it
Yep.
concurrently. So if you see here, I've got an error group now because this function can return an error.
Okay.
And I throw a go routine at every keyframe. We never have more than like 4 or 5. So I'm
Oh.
processing this concurrently now, each keyframe.
Okay, so
Each
each
keyframe that we need a
keyframe,
description for and potentially source code for, I throw a go routine at each one.
got it. And those are the unique keyframes, so after they've already sort of been narrowed down,
Now,
which is yeah.
right. So if I have 4, just send all 4 to the model server at the same time.
Got
However,
it.
I feel like they all come back at the same time. So one setting that I did was this. So
Okay.
I did say, see if you can run 4 in parallel, Olama. And I do allow 2 models to be loaded at the same time, though. And that's just because when you're making calls to different models with Olama, if you use the default one, it has to flush the old model and bring the other model back in. That sort of takes time, right?
So in the context of like what we're doing, where we have the vision model and then we have like the normal sort of LLM model, it would have to do one task, flush that one, go to the next one, and then vice versa. Okay.
Yeah, but if you could say, you can like we never needed more than 2, I think, at a time. So that's like an important setting if you're going to be using an embedding model and then a chat model right afterwards.
Gotcha.
You don't
Okay.
have to be flushing it all the time.
And then parallel, is that also related to the models running in parallel, or is it
I think it's related to requests, right?
okay, so more like task.
What does what does oops, that was the eCam live. I shouldn't have put that out. Somebody's going to join now. What does the variable do? I don't remember. Let's just I'll pay AMP to tell me the answer. Every time I do that, I'm like, okay, I'm going to pay AMP to tell me the answer.
That's
Google's
funny.
free, but I'm going to pay AMP. It controls the
Parallel
maximum number of
requests.
parallel requests, right? So that way, if we had 4 keyframes, the idea is that hopefully it could do 4 of those at a time. I don't know how much it worked, but we'll see it run right now anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so that was also a change that I made. I decided to try to do that in parallel. Everything else is pretty much the same there. So if I now run that for the video that we've been playing with, I guess I had Whisper up here. You're going to hear me cough today. I apologize to everybody.
And you're gonna hear me sniffle.
So you can see here. Ooh, that's not good.
Context
I
deadline.
did put a context in there. Let me see. So you can see here on this one. Let me kill this for a second. So I did do a 10-second. Actually, we're going to test something out. I'm going to test 2 things out. I did a 10-second. Which I can't believe we would have hit already. Let's see. Time dot second. There. For the keyframes, maybe I'll do 20.
Okay, so that's basically the time that it has to complete.
the description. I don't want it to
the
take
description.
forever. But even 10 seconds to me was a lot of time to do that. No, I'm not going to change that. Like, if you can't do it in 10 seconds, but that should have been 10 seconds per, like, this is a unique context for each. Actually, no, this is bad. I should do it this way because I was just adding it to the same context actually.
Oh, okay. So you needed a sort of independent
Yeah,
context
I really
for
do need an
each.
independent context for that.
Got it.
That was, I don't know what that would have caused. I don't think that was good, being honest with you. I think that's smarter. Okay. Actually, I want to try something here. I had to compose. I want to see if the -v works. The -v is supposed to clean out the database and have you start sort of new. Let me see. Okay. So I'm starting Mongo and everything up again. And let's see here. All right, so it's starting with 0, which is good. Now remember, it's doing this concurrently. Though I think I wasn't playing with context properly. And you can see here that, right, these first few 60 seconds don't really have code in it. Most of these
Okay.
actually has one keyframe, which kind of proves the point that 15 seconds was too small. And even a minute might be too small for this. But it
Yeah,
might be, bro.
because the main thing is you need to have enough sort of context in the chunk
Yeah.
for the model to be able to understand, or be able to match things.
So we
Um,
got 35 chunks or 35 sort of minutes of video there. And you see it's up to number 4 now. But you see this one had code in it, right?
yeah,
So this was a good one because we have the transcription, we've got descriptions, we've got code.
yeah, okay. Yeah,
But you
because
can see this
those,
code is the same, right? Now my fan is.
yeah. Uh,
So here's the next minute. But reasonably at 10 seconds, right? That would be 350 seconds, which would basically be about 5 minutes. Say 6 minutes, I can process a 45-minute video, which is kind of cool,
yeah, that is awesome.
right?
And it does seem like it does seem like you're talking.
And it's faster because of those improvements I made.
It is definitely faster.
Yeah,
I do see that.
Florent found a good model. So that model was faster. It's still accurate. And then we're not making 2 calls with the same
Uh,
image.
Is is that model replacing the one that wasn't on Olama, the image embedding?
No, this has
Or
nothing to
was
do with
that
embedding. This is
Oh, sorry.
this is a vision model. So it was,
Gemma. Okay, the chat. Got
yeah,
it.
it's replacing this one. It was the one that we had before was
Was it
we were,
OSS
we were
or
using this one. No, we were using this one because OSS isn't
Quen?
a vision model.
Quen.
We were using the Quen, but it was too slow. I'm gonna use the Quen for all the other examples. I don't think there's a reason to get rid of it at this point. But for this purpose, this just ran faster. My fan is on. What a surprise. But we're at like 13 already. All right. So we should have the whole video sort of chunked by the time we're I just have to double check that when I stop it, restart it, the data is still there.
Okay,
But
and
I
this is
should,
taking in the whole 45-minute video.
yeah. Um, I wonder if this has, yeah, use example 12. And you can see here now we've got like 15.
50.
Now I got 16 videos in there. And if I do the find,
Yeah, we can see that there.
yeah, so that's kind of cool, right? I realized something too. I don't know if I need to store an image in the Mongo. I was thinking about storing the diagram images
Okay.
along with the Mongo inside of Mongo. But then I'm wondering, like, do we really need that? Is that something that we want to display when they can just click on the video link and go there? So it's something to think
Yeah,
about.
valid.
Like, do we need it? Or is the link to the video sort of enough?
Valid point.
Now, what's got me concerned here is I don't see the code in here, like for 19.
Yeah, I was seeing that in some of the descriptions. It sounds like you're talking about code, like you're
Oh, there it
saying
is. There
words
it is.
like
There it is.
here.
No, it's there.
Okay.
Yeah, 19 had it. Okay. No, I got concerned for a second. I need the code in here. The whole thing doesn't work, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
so you can see that that stuff's getting in there, which is cool. Okay, so and you can see the output's much cleaner. It's just basically telling us what it's doing and where it's at. So that's good. So now the next step was our chat system, and we had sort of hacked in there because of time that last little piece of doing the embedding on the question, bringing in. I want to start working on that and cleaning that up and encapsulating it, because one of the things we definitely have to do is, and I think it would be a quick call, is to ask the model if it feels that this question is relevant to content that we have in the vector database, right?
Yeah.
So if I say, what
Yeah.
is the weather? It should come back and say, that has nothing to do with Go code. I don't know what to ask it to compare it with, but
Exactly.
right. And then be really smart about when we're bringing in the extra content. All right. So that, okay. So I'm going to keep this change that I just made here, which was the context change. Context for frame calls. All right. So let's go to step 2 now. Step 2 is essentially our chat app. But we hacked in a whole bunch of sort of code in here. Yeah, we may have to add stuff to the system prompt. This is all the stuff that we sort of hacked in.
Text vector, sure. Yeah. Okay.
That's the stuff that we hacked in. That wasn't in there before.
Yeah.
So I want to bare minimally pull that out, put it into a function, and then sort of try to be smarter about that, right?
Okay.
So let me pull that out for now. Man, that's a long function. That's a really long function that
That
we wrote.
is a
But that's
very
the
long
entire
function.
loop, right? Like this is the agent at the end of the day. This
Yeah. The run.
feels long. Like when we were first working on it, it didn't feel that long, but
It did not.
um, sometimes I just don't want this helping me. Oh, don't help me. What should we just call this function? Inject. I don't
Prompt
know.
injection or
Well,
or
this is
content.
about what? This is about if we need to do the vector search or not, because the question is within the scope of some context, right?
Yeah.
So let me think about what we needed here to make this work. I needed some user input for sure. I have that already. We could ask for a context. My fan just shut down, so
Might be done.
oh no.
Oh,
All right. So something failed on number 32. We got real close though.
32. Why did
We had some JSON
invalid character?
in the curl stuff here. So yeah.
Oh, because
Yeah. But
yeah.
ideally, I should be able to run this again. It's probably going to fail because we need to get it to give us proper JSON. But that's cool, right? It just said
Oh,
all
that's
those
nice.
existed. Yeah, no, you need
Yeah.
that. The other
But
thing
was it doing that before, or is that new that you added?
no, that's some new stuff that I added.
Okay.
So whatever that description was, you could tell the model only give me proper JSON, but at the end of the day, if what it comes up with is what it comes up with, there's not much you can do. Now, I didn't have to fail the whole thing. I could have just gone to the next one too, right? But again, this is just some proof of concept code, really. We're trying to
Yeah.
keep this code clean so we could move with it faster. But this is like, now this is the thing I'm worried about with the new changes. Okay, so now it did everything. All right. So if I bring this back, use example 12. Now I've got 36. What I'm worried about is this. I'm going to shut this down for a second. All right, I just shut this down. Now I'm just going to bring it back up. I'm not going to use the clean. It's going to do a down without the minus V. And I'm hoping that I still have all that data. If not, I've got to learn more about this compose. But when I was trying to keep everything locally, it was not coming back up the second time, no matter what I did. I was missing some mount, but I can't figure out what it is. So, all right, let's see what happens
Huh.
here. I think the moment I do down, okay, then this must be the problem. It has nothing to do with the V. Once I do down,
Okay.
it's clearing everything up. So probably what we need to do is not do an automatic down anymore. Just do that. So when you choose down, it'd be more like clean. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Which means I got to run this again. But all right, that's part of it. Like, I'm not a guru on this side of it, man.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's what happens when you say down, it cleans everything up underneath it. So let's go in this direction here. Now I just did an up again. So whatever, it doesn't take that long anymore to run. I'll let it run again. And now if this all works, I'll only call clean when I want to like restart the database clean, Try it that way. I was hoping that down, I don't know what down does. I guess when you call down and it removes everything.
Huh. Okay.
So, like it removed whatever was out there and then it just cleaned it all up, which is nice, right? I want things to be cleaned up at the end of the day.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
whatever, this time it should work. Okay, so inject context, right? So the idea is right now we did the vector text search. Now, if there was an error at this point, I don't want to lose this. So I'm just going to put this here right now. In this case, we need to return and I return that. Then I had just done this just so we could see it, but eventually we got to get rid of that. If the score is greater than 80, add it to the extra context. And then you had a prompt, and then you had new user input, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we're following along with what we're doing here, and this prompt ideally could be a constant. So we're not recreating this variable every time, right?
Okay.
So this is basically the function that we could put back here.
Okay. So it's its own sort of thing now. Okay.
Cool. It put that in there for me too, so I don't need this. So ideally now we've just moved that to a single.
Cool. Okay.
Oh no,
And now
but sorry.
we do need the sort of classification part of it before that step, right?
Well, this is, remember, the agent side, but did we, hold on. This is dangerous. I think we're going to have a problem.
Oh.
See, I'm replacing the user input here.
Oh.
So now I'm wondering if we don't do this. Hold on. If it fails, yeah, continue. Else you just use that now as the in. Okay. So I think that's fine. If we do this and it fails, we're just going to do a continue anyway. So that's fine. If not, we're taking the user input and we're changing it to have this prompt, the extra content, and the question.
Got
See
it.
that?
Okay. Yeah.
And then what happens is given some user input, we replace it. And then that goes into the conversation.
Mm.
All right. And we're on 19 now. So, but now what I want to do is I want to make sure that we should even be doing the call.
Yeah.
So we could test this now even with 19. So that's doing, even with 21 things in there, we could test this now, right? Let's go back to this view. Now, when I say hello model, it should say don't hit the database, but just do this right now.
Yeah.
How do you add JSON Web Token support to this? So you can see here,
Ooh.
I would say that we pulled some context out of the vector database, right?
Yeah.
I would say this is not my code.
No.
So we did
It's
something bad here. So let's double check what we did here. I would say this is from the database. This in
Yep.
blue. Where did we show that? Score and text.
Result. Yeah,
Yeah,
score there
so
and text there.
score and text. So 79%, we didn't use it. We didn't use any of it.
Is that because it was under 80?
Yeah, because it was under 80,
Okay. Yeah.
right? So let's just change this to 75, right? And instead of using blue, I wonder if this can tell me. What color do I want to use? Yellow? What color do we use for? We use yellow, we use red. I don't know if I use green for anything.
I don't think so.
If 94M is blue, presents the color blue, what number represents the color? Now, I probably should have started a new thread for that, but all I was doing was subtracting numbers at some point. I think I'm using 92M. I am. When we call the tools, I am.
Oh.
What color should we use other than blue? How about magenta?
Magenta would work.
$95? See if I'm using 95 anywhere. No, I'm not. Okay. So let's do that for now. And let's also say score. And let's get that also to what is it? .0f or 2. All right, let's try this again.
Okay.
So did this fail? All right, we got all 35 in there now.
Nice.
So no, well, here's the question. Now I'm going to do this again. Oh, somebody just gave us a bunch of stuff. 030.
Oh,
So my
green.
numbers
Okay.
are like in the 90s. Yeah, that's funny. I don't know what maybe after 60 it just restarts or something.
97.
Okay, I'm going to do a compose up without the down. 90s IDD. I don't know what any of that means, dude, but help me out. Okay, so as long as we don't call down, the data stays perfectly. So we'll make the down call manual. Yeah, I don't even know where I got these original numbers from, but let's see how this works. All right. Okay, let's do it again. How does Bill integrate JSON web tokens into the service? Oops. I see magenta is good.
Magenta.
So we got the score.
The formatting on the scores, right?
But now it's 71%, so it still didn't work.
Yeah.
And see escape codes. Yeah, the whole thing looks like it's amazing to me any of that stuff works. Okay, I need a better question that's going to be like 100%. So authenticate function. Let's do that. You show me the authenticate function Bill wrote. Okay, now we've got 78, 77. There it is, right?
There it is. Okay. Yeah.
So what's funny is this went higher score than this. So good thing we used 2.
Huh.
But maybe what we can do at least is change this to 70, right? All right. Nice. Okay, so we've got that, which is cool. I don't think I need this. Okay, so this is sort of working now, right? We've got this in place, and I've got my compose working properly too. So let's commit minus am fix compose and scoring. Okay. So now I want to do that next step here, right? I don't want to do the vector search unless we really should do the vector search.
Okay. Yep.
Just a waste of time.
Yeah.
So what we want now is some sort of, I guess, just to be consistent with the project, is to do that. But I want a new function now. I want some function that Miguel's calling me, of course. He knows I've got a show going on, and what does Miguel do? Let me just tell him, hey, in the show, find me on YouTube. If you want to talk to me, find me on YouTube. Okay, so Miguel is one of my business partners on the sales side. So yeah, now he's hitting me up on Slack and everything, bro. So hopefully he gets that message. Okay, so look, I want some function that will, what should we call it? It's
I
going
think
to,
classification.
it's like test if, I hate this already, vector, test if vector, something like,
Or
I'm getting very Java right now.
oh my.
Like that's what we're trying to do, right? Test if we should
or
perform a vector search.
yeah, or check topic or should search. Yeah.
Now, you know, ideally, probably what we should do is something like this. And then the question is, do we just do what we did here, right? If that fails, do that, and then just say if, see, I hate fuzzy logic here, right?
Yeah.
Ideally, I'd rather return no. So this says if no, and it's not if not yes. So like
Yeah. Okay.
there's let's have that conversation, right? There's
Yeah.
readability in something like this. So you might want to return yes, because should we search? The answer is yes. And then you have to say, if not yes, like how much harder is it to think about not yes or no?
Yeah. Basically. Yeah. I agree with that, and I run into that a lot too. I ran into that I think yesterday, where I was trying to decide
Always,
what the
yeah.
right way is to do that
The
sort of logic.
moment you have to use a not, you probably want to find a way to not use not, even if it's a helper function that allows you to have the reverse in it, right?
Got it.
So if this was going to be yes, right, and I couldn't do anything about it, I might have a function that says, right, should we do this?
Mm-hmm.
You know, or should we not do this? Because really it's the not case.
Got it. Okay.
And then that way you can read it and sort of understand it. So I'm always looking for that sort of opportunity to not use not. Now, should search. Now, what's really involved in a should search? It's basically sending a prompt to the model about, man, Miguel's just blown up, bro. Blowing me up. You must be panicking, man. Ah, okay. No, he's happy and excited. Okay, good. So let's just put this here and then I'll move it because this function doesn't belong there. It belongs underneath, right? Where we
Yeah.
talk about telling a story. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when I'm first hacking on something, I want to see everything. And right now I want to see where it's being used.
Definitely. Okay.
Okay. So the idea is we need a prompt that asks the following question. So does the following question, see, I don't know if that's the right thing to ask.
How I've seen it before
Let's
is
do
sort
this.
of like, it does the following question fall under this set of topics?
Can
If
you
not,
write a prompt that asks the LLM if my question is relevant to my service class? My service class teaches people how to write API services in Go, in the Go language. So let's just start here. I'm just curious. Sometimes I'm at a point where I'm just like, why am I expelling all this brain? And now I was going to do a Google search to see what other people are doing it, right? So this is
there we go.
interesting. So you are a relevant filter for a Go API service development class. Determine if the following is relevant to learning how to write API services in the Go program. Include,
Relevant topics. Yeah.
and we'll have to add JSON web tokens to that. See, how cool is that, bro?
Yeah, that's great. And that's pretty much how it's very similar to how I've seen it done in our other project.
We're going to clean this up a little bit. Okay. Just so I can read it, we'll just use the 80 column marker. Right? So I want to add those some things here, right?
Definitely.
Oh no, it says authentication. So maybe that's enough. Let's
Might
not touch this, right? We've got this prompt. It's going to return relevant or not relevant. we could have it return JSON, but I think this is fine. Okay. Now we need our I need to make a call. My brain doesn't work anymore. So how do we make a call to our LLM? At least in here. This is it right here. All this code here. Okay. Let me steal this. Though I'm not going to do an SSE call for this.
Yeah, we don't need that. We just need to.
But I don't know if I have a non-SSE connection. Do I? Oh, I do. I have a text. Well, I have a text embedding client. But what we also then just need is a, we can add a text client to this, right?
Yep.
All right. Which means we got to add a model to this. Call it text chat. Now we could use the same. Could use the same model here, couldn't we?
The OSS. Okay. Yeah.
And then this would be V1 chat completions. In fact, it's the same.
So do you really? Yeah. Do you really need a?
No, we don't. We just need a client to just make it easier. So if I add this to, I don't know why something's broken. Let me just do this for a second. So I added a higher level API just to make things a little easier to work with at the client level. So you could use the raw like we did here. If I go
Okay.
back to foundation client, right? This is the low level API. This is what we're using for the chat completion stuff. Right? I'm just doing it raw, but I did add some higher level functions. Like technically we could swap the other one out for chat completions SSE if we wanted to. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I hard coded some values in here just because that's what I did, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't change the fact that we're using the raw because that gives us more control over the parameters right now with our little client package. But for what I'm doing here, I think I can use the higher level function call. This one. I can use the higher level function call and we're fine. Now, I'm wondering though. Yeah, because I sort of hard code the model that we're using in there, which is one of the things that I did, just so it's tied to like one server and one model. Okay.
Gotcha.
Which is fine. So let's do, I go back and forth on the API design there, but it's simple. So I just sort of left it. But you can make it a little bit more flexible and specify the models at the time that you're making the call, right? But now this API gets a little larger because now it's just not the completion part. It's also what models do you want to use? And I was just like, I don't want to like make that part of the API call, which is what you'll do in the lower level one. You'll specify because you specify the model in the document that you're passing.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Look, we've got this text client right now, really, and I shouldn't even call it text client. It should be called the chat client. It's called chat client. All right.
Okay.
And we'll use the same model. So, where are we here? So you notice, like in the raw, you specify everything. This is very raw, right?
Yeah.
Which is fine. I didn't want to do it in the raw. So now the idea is a dot chat client dot chat
Chat
completion.
complete. Yeah. Okay.
And well, we have to finish this prompt work anyway, right? So text is going to equal funct dot sprintf. It's going to be the prompt, and it's going to be the user input, right? That's what we called it here. Yeah. So that's the text.
Okay.
And then you have the text, and we don't need any options here. And we don't even have context. So let's add context. And then this either returns the result or an error. And that could be false. I wonder why it's just not doing that by itself. Oops. Oh, that's backwards, isn't it?
Terrible. Boy.
All right. I don't need any of you. And now we did just tell the model to send back relevant or not relevant, right? We could
Yep.
put it in a JSON document, do all that sort of stuff, but this is just going to bring back the result. Hold on. Yeah, content, right? Again, very high level, doing way too much. So maybe just to be smart, we'll do something like this. Strings dot contains if the result, nope,
Mhm.
the result contains not relevant, false, else return. See?
True. No.
And
Okay.
we're
Yeah.
hacking a little bit. We can make the prompt return JSON and try to be a little smarter and all that. But that's interesting, right?
Yeah. So
So,
should serve.
all right, I'm going to move this now that I think we have a working version of this. Okay. And so should search, we do that. I mean, this could work. It will be interesting, right?
Yeah, I think it looks like it.
I'm also wondering at this point, oh, that's a system prompt, right? It's the only other prompt we have. All right, let's try it. And I'm going to just say hello model, and it should not come back as anything that's relevant, right? All right. Now, the thing that sucks is,
Oh, it shouldn't have even got there.
no, it shouldn't have. So now we got to do some output. Also, yeah, the funny thing is that, yeah, I have that little timer that waits for the response, but it wouldn't be inside of this either. Okay, so a couple things. That didn't seem to work, did it?
No.
So let's do the following. Let's steal this. Now I'm
Yeah.
curious what came back.
Exactly, yeah. We could print it out.
Yeah, let's see what came back. It said not relevant. So we're not doing something right ourselves.
Not
So,
relevant.
okay, so should search was false. Let's check our logic up here. Should have came
Yeah.
back as, oh, let me see something here. Oh, but it got to this anyway, right? So the logic problem is in here. Should search, no. Oh, we're doing it in reverse. So here's the problem, right? We wrote the function this way. Idiots. I'm an idiot. I'm returning should I search? Yes or no? Yes.
Okay.
No. And then we're back to should I search? Yes. If not, yes. Like now we've got competing fuzzy
Oh,
logic issues going on, right?
okay.
I would have
Yeah.
to change that function to say should not search. But even that is fuzzy logic, right? So
Should searches.
I don't see any way around this other than yeah, but I don't want to return an error either. So there's no way around this. It's just it is what it is. I hate when it's like this.
Yeah. So yes. Okay.
And this is more is relevant.
Is relevant. Yeah.
This is more like is question relevant? Yes or no? If it's not yes, then just return. Okay. I just hate that, but right now that's what it is. Hello, model.
Okay.
No.
Not relevant.
See how
Glad I
nice is
helped
that,
today.
right?
Nice. Yeah.
Now I'll ask another question. Hey, what is the current weather in New York City?
Not relevant. Cool.
Okay. And now we can ask it,
The JWT.
does Bill show any code related to how to perform authentication?
Boom.
Relevant. And we got good
Nice.
scores.
Awesome. Yes,
Can
contains.
you show me the actual code Bill uses? Now, this is hopefully historical enough for it to.
Not relevant. Yeah.
So now we have a
Because
problem.
we need to pass the history to that completion call. Like it also needs the context.
Yeah. Huh. That's interesting, right?
Yeah, it sort of is the conversation.
That one is interesting. That one I didn't think about. That one is I'm just going to say what we have. Relevant? How do you spell relevance? I
Like
hate when
that.
my
Yeah, I
spelling is
think
bad. This is what I do
it's
when I can't remember how to spell something. Oh, I did it right. Or whatever. Okay. This is a problem. Do we need to give I need to give the entire context to the model. Okay. It's not about just one question because that question should have been right. Can you show me the actual code Bill uses? That has to work.
yeah, exactly.
But now, okay, let's take a look at our prompt.
Yeah. Hmm.
Question with the current message history. I need the message history. How do we have the message history?
Oh, I thought I just saw it.
I have it in
Conversation
conversation,
append.
right?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So let's add conversation there. Add conversation there. Add conversation there. Yay for the model. Okay. Now, I need to completely oh, I did it already. See what's nice on the when you do it in the raw, right? We're keeping the message history all there. So when we did this, we didn't have the message history in that nice sort of, let's go back, right? We're just doing
Oh, okay. And the messages. Yeah.
now. The options here is extra. Oh no, it's adding extra content. It's adding extra documents to the content, which is not what we want, right? Well, what we want to do is basically bring in all of the message history here. So we may not be able to use this particular API I wrote because it's not what we want. We really want to do yeah. We want this where we're appending that what we want? It's like I gotta send all the content in. Wow, what an expensive call.
Yeah,
This just
that's
got
where
super
my
expensive.
because now you're putting that prompt, you're putting all the history and then the question.
But maybe we don't need all the history. I just need I need like I need the last two, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Do you even need the last two? Maybe
I
the
definitely
last
need
one.
no, because I would need the answer and the question.
Oh,
I
okay.
need both,
Yeah.
right? I need the last two sort of interactions, I think, would be enough,
Yeah.
right?
Question, answer, and then
Here, this is
question.
where like I'm starting to get old here, right? Change the selected code so we only capture the last two elements from the conversation. Slice into account. Oh, we should always have two. I'll pay for that.
Hmm.
I'm just curious sometimes how it would do it. Because
I
sometimes
I get I get that all the time.
see that was interesting. What it did, in fact, it did something it didn't even know about Go's new Max, right? So that said, length of conversation -2 or 0. So whichever one's greater. Very cool. This is a new
There must be
built-in
at least
function.
two of them. Okay.
And then it went this to the end. And that's the right order too. We can't have it in reverse. We needed the order to still be maintained. You see, that
Yeah.
would have taken me a tiny bit of time right there.
Yeah. Okay.
That's cool. This is the stuff where I'm loving the AI agent, right? Because I don't know if I would have came up with that. And I think I would have forgotten this part, that I needed the order to be preserved.
Yeah.
It really wasn't a reverse. It was, I don't know. This stuff gets me excited for some reason. But
I
this is
enjoy
where
doing
I'm
it too,
like,
though.
you have to be, remember, it's a tool. What I keep trying to tell people is I knew what I wanted. I know exactly what I want there. So it's okay to ask the model to code that because now we just read it all. The Go tooling kicked in and said, there's still a better way to even do that.
It's sort of like a when you have the idea in your head of what you want it to look like, what you're trying to do, but not necessarily the exact code that it takes to do it, it kind of helps fill in those blanks and get you in a place where you have something that functions,
All right,
and
let's
then you
try
can go
this.
back.
This gets interesting. Let's go through this whole exercise again, if I can remember everything I did. All right. Hello, model. Not relevant. It didn't blow up, and that's when we had like 0 in there.
Yeah.
What is the weather in New York City today? Not relevant. Okay. Now,
Oh, but
what?
it did say use tool. We need to get whether use tool in the reasoning.
Yeah, but I think do we have tools in here? No, we don't have any tools in here.
No, I don't think so.
Let me see.
That's why it was interesting.
What is the weather in here? No, it says we need to use a browser search tool, but it didn't really give it back to me in tooling. That's reasoning.
No, it didn't give you anything, actually, like as a response.
Yeah. Well, that's even weirder.
Yeah, like it left it blank.
Sumo. Wait, we broke something. Well, we broke something. How did we break? We gotta look. We're not getting the response. What did we break? See, there's a
There
response.
it is. Now I had it.
Dude, that was weird. Maybe we
That was super
just.
weird. I don't know what caused that.
Yeah, do I. Running local models, man. See, now we
Yeah,
just
it's on the
broke it.
second time you asked the question. Wow. Wonder why it... Oh,
Yeah, just the model's misbehaving. It's not our logic where we're not getting.
no. Yeah.
Okay. Um, can you show me how Bill wrote the authenticate function in the service class? So that's cool. Did Bill share any other functions in the class related to authentication?
Hmm.
You need to answer using the context provided.
Um, okay. Relevant. Purchase an RSA.
And it's probably possible I haven't talked about that in this video chunk yet.
Maybe. You can write the relevant Go or Python snippet. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. It's working in the sense that it said it was relevant, right? But
Yeah.
I don't know if we have that in the content, right?
Maybe
Let's do the following. Again, this
maybe
could
try a
be
different.
so for me, this little thing that we just did is working, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But now the problem is that I think this whole video is focused on this authenticate. Like there's a call to validate. Oh no, here it is. Right. So there's parse. Oh no, that's parse RSA private key from PEM. Okay. Show me any code that uses the parse RSA
Private key from PEM.
from PEM function.
So it doesn't actually have that code.
We don't have it, right? But we should have it in one of the chunks. And right now
Unless it
we're
wasn't
at
a
minute 16:14, right?
yeah. So
16. So that could
around
be like 16,
yeah.
14. Find. Problem is,
Maybe output. Yeah, there. There it is.
you see, now things get really complicated.
Yeah, it didn't pull a code.
It may, I mean, it might be even on 15. This is
Could
where,
be any
like,
of
how do
those.
we validate that we've got code when we should have code, right?
And that comes down to the keyframes too, because I mean, were you sitting like with that highlighted for a while, let's say, and just talking?
Maybe, I mean,
Like 14. Yeah. Like that's getting towards the end. One chunk, probably.
yeah. I mean, I don't know what I'm saying in this, but this should all be in one chunk, right?
Yeah, all of that
What we might
code.
have to do is save all the keyframes and like in order to debug this, right?
Okay.
What we might have to do is because I'm also bouncing around a little bit there, right? So
Yeah,
first of all, that
exactly.
code worked. Let's just say for now, I feel like that code worked, right?
Yeah.
The question now is, um,
It's kind of like getting the data correct.
we just don't see enough code in here.
No.
In fact, I'm seeing very little code. Maybe the new model isn't as accurate as we otherwise thought. You know?
Yeah.
The other option is to try to run this again using the other model.
Mm,
I got very little code here.
yeah, that I don't
I finally have code here on video 8.
right in the beginning. But then it seems like at some point it just stops giving you
So we've got a
code.
couple choices here. Let me clear this out for a second, which means I got to do it down. No, I called it clean.
Well,
No.
it composed clean.
Okay. That's going to get rid of the database. Let's do a couple things here. I think that worked, right? Fixed relevance check. I really do. I think that little change worked pretty good. And it's fast, right? What I'm thinking, though, is maybe we need to go back to this model. Now that I've knocked it down to maybe it won't be so slow. Let's see. All right. Sorry. We may need to just keep.
We may need to keep more.
We might have to keep everything just so we can inspect. Because I feel like may have to keep, because I'm not getting code, right?
No.
And the deadline exceeded 10 seconds on that one. All right. We got to do a couple things.
Code.
All right. I've got to, we got to do a couple things here.
But those images that you were looking at, the frames do show different code in them. So it's almost like it's just not recognizing to pull it out.
Yeah. Something isn't working 100% of the time, every time. And I feel like what we might have to do see, when I start to put the input together, this is what I'm dumping out on the screen here.
Okay.
Video, chunk, duration, input. But you can see that. So either we're getting some other classification again.
Oh, that could be it.
Let's just do something real quick. We should be seeing more code than we're seeing.
Definitely.
Also, I feel like this isn't cleaning up very well. This is supposed to clean up all the frames. How come we don't have I guess we don't have an os.remove all? Why are we not doing that?
Is it not if error? Let's remove.
I don't know why we made this so complicated. I should just remove everything in one shot. Oh. This removes the path too. I wonder if that matters.
Removes path and any children it contains.
Let's see what happens.
So remove that frames.
Max.
Yeah, I mean, I really just
Directory
want all
also.
that gone, but all right, let's just see something here. See if that fails miserably. Yeah, it got rid of it, but now
Yeah.
we got to add it back.
The make directory. What is the 0755?
It's that change mod. It's a permission thing. I don't remember what I never remember what that stuff should be, bro.
Okay.
But let's just see if that works. So I mean, that's just dirty, but works, right? Okay, but I'm almost at a point where I feel like we need to keep some of this metadata just to validate what we're doing, right?
Okay.
So this is fine in terms of moving and then recreating. Max, nobody wants to hear you bark, bro. Okay, give me 20 more minutes. Frame. Oh. Oh. So here's the problem with using the new model, right? This is going to take like 40 minutes. It's just not, it's just too slow, bro. It's just too slow. Just, we're never going to survive this.
Yeah.
So just, there's no way around it. You need this smaller model. The question is, see, we had no frames because that just took forever.
Yeah.
So let's do a couple things. The code that I just added to remove everything. Where's that code again? Okay.
There it is.
I want to keep it for a minute. So instead of doing the remove, I have a chunk file, right? That gives me the video, it gives me the video name. It really gives me the chunk name. Now, ideally, I could create this directory, right?
Okay.
And then keep everything in the chunk name for the keyframes. Now, here's the problem. Processing the keyframe files, I need the chunk name. Right now, I just give it a video directory. So hold on. Let me see something here. Yeah. What do I use the video directory for? So this might work. And this might allow us to keep it. Let's try it. So I'm going to create a folder under frames for each chunk name.
Okay.
Now, the problem though is we should do one more thing. Remove duplicate. So this is when we don't keep it, right?
Yeah.
It would be nice to remove it. Now, that name isn't going to be good though, because I don't want to keep it if we're not using it, right? Oh no, that should work. All right, let's try this. Oh, did I say read file?
Yeah. Read.
Remove file.
Yeah. Remove.
Let's just see how that works. You know, I'm not doing any error checking. Oh, we started over. I just want to see how it works.
So now I've got video, but video. Ish. Oh, but it should be.
No, we're doing something bad.
Oh yeah. See how it did? If you go out, it did videos, chunks, frames, and then it did zarps, samples, videos.
Oh,
Like it
okay.
did something super weird.
Yeah, no, did something very weird. All right, let's go
I
back to
think it
that.
was video directory probably
Probably
getting used somewhere.
the
There.
video. Oh, the chunk name. Oh, this was supposed to be base. Bro. It's supposed to be base.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why. But where else did I do that? Yeah, we'll find out. That was supposed to be base, bro.
Okay. That looks. Oh,
All right.
it's looking. It's looking for that same
I bet you the
double
same
zarp.
thing happened where this is under process keyframes, right? It must be on the remove duplicate.
I think that's the only other. The
Oh, no.
OS remove.
Well, I'm not handling errors there, so.
No.
But we returned an error from no such file. Let's go back to processing keyframes. Processing keyframes. Get keyframe files. Oh. Maybe it was the creation of the keyframes that I screwed up. Remember, this is supposed to be base.
Yeah.
It happened
Okay.
twice, bro.
There it is. Yeah. Okay. So now they have an inner, like an output or
I know,
frames
but
according
the
to the
base
chunk.
should have gotten rid of the. Oh, I thought the base would get rid of the. But it doesn't matter. That's what I wanted, right? But
Yeah.
but let me stop this again for a second. You see how our code said we're just keeping 1 from 2? I think we deleted the wrong one. The similarity is greater than the similarity. Continue.
Continue to check, and then it
Are we doing the
regoes.
wrong thing here? We want to keep it if it's greater than the threshold.
Oh, why? What is the threshold? Like, what's the value of it? Let's look at that.
80%.
80. But that's removing duplicates, so if it's greater than 80, it's
We don't want
we
it.
don't need it. But it's not being, we don't need to remove it because it's not being appended, right?
I want to remove
It's,
it from disk
oh, you want to
because I
remove
just want
it.
to see the ones that we're keeping,
Oh, okay.
right? And then the thing is that when I look here, right, I don't see 0.
It's only every 60.
It sort of deleted the wrong.
Why are those keyframes going up by 60 like consistently?
I don't know. That's a different question.
Like like the chunks are every 60
Uh,
seconds.
I
So
know that's a different
yeah.
question. What's got me? Okay, whatever. We know which ones we're keeping. Let me just do this again.
Okay.
Who is banging on my door? So there's 4 we're keeping. 0, 60,
Yeah.
0, 60,
6.
213. I know why they're in. And that's fine. We ran out of time on that one. On number 1, we're just keeping 0. Oh, this is not good. So I would say that we are not doing our similarity stuff very well. Okay. I know what to look at now, right? We had all these
Yeah.
keyframes and we only kept this one. So we must have thought that all these were similar enough. But we didn't keep a good one.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do one more thing here. That way I don't have to worry about manually cleaning that up. Okay, so we do have a weird bug with checking similarity, but we're basically at the top of our hour here. So this function is where we've got to spend some time. You've got to sort of
Okay.
start debugging that. So let me do the following, because I think this is still working. All right, so we have to start sort of debugging the keyframe similarity. Okay, Max, I'm almost done. Okay, so I'm pushing that code up. We're at the top of the hour here, so I think the next step is to start to analyze why we're not doing a good job finding truly unique frames. We may have to lower the threshold a little bit. In this case, more is less. I mean, in this case, more frames is better than less frames, maybe. But we know where to look, right? It's the remove duplicate that's causing the pain now. So, and we have to use the other model. But I think once we solve this problem, and it's a data problem. Once we solve this problem, the other stuff seems to be working pretty damn good, man.
No, it does. It does. And I think today those are some good changes with sort of classifying whether something's relevant or not. That's super useful.
So I'm not going to touch this code now until Thursday. I'll just leave this sort of where it is. So everybody that's watching, we can sort of come back to this. We'll start debugging the cosine similarity stuff and see if we can improve on that. Because that's the key. Like the whole thing is based on the keyframe and extracting code and getting that to work. And I think once we know we've got code in there, then I think the way we did the history becomes sort of relevant. All right, so I've
Gotcha.
pushed
Makes
all
sense.
that. It all sort of works. Maybe by Thursday, Florin will be handling transcriptions with FFmpeg, but I told him you can't do something that's going to require people to jump and dance. So it's either got to like work or not work. Anyway, all right. So we're at top of the hour. We had a pretty good day today. And hopefully by Thursday, we'll solve our keyframe issue and then we'll be like rocking and rolling. All right, bye.
Awesome.
See you later.